Overt Radio. Just before we said Jack Robinson, before we went on for that break, Villarreal and Juventus, we are saying, is that over for Villarreal? Now, that game is 90 plus 1 minute up, and it's 2-2, ladies and gentlemen, in that center. And of course, let's not forget that Vega scored that one in the 90th minute, an equalizer coming in there for them. Now, that game has been one that is very, very unpredictable. And let's look at the stats in that game. And of course, from the start here, possession is in favor of Juventus, 54-46. Shots on target, Juventus 4, Villarreal 5. Shots off target, 7, of course, for Juventus, and 6 for Villarreal. And we have corner kicks, 3 for Juventus, 4 for Villarreal. And offside, 1-1. Fouls, 16 for Juventus and 7 for Villarreal. Of course, yellow card, we have 2-1, and crosses 13-6, and counter attacks 1-2, goalkeeper saves 3-2, goal kicks 8-10. All right, so that's the start we have for you. And of course, let's go to the table right now in the Champions League as it stands. Bayern Munich are 6 points from 2 games. They have 6 points from 2 games. They are one of the first 6 sides that has 100% win in that competition. And of course, Real Madrid are second, right there on the table with 6 points as well. Inter Milan 6 points, Karabakh 6 points, Manchester City, if they win this game, will be on 6 points. Arsenal on 6 points as well. Now PSG has 4 points, Borussia Dortmund 4 points, Juventus 4 points, Tottenham Hotspur 4 points, while Atletico Madrid has 3 points, Newcastle 3 points, Marseille 3 points, Liverpool are down 3 points, Chelsea 3 points, and Galatasaray 3 points, Atalanta 3 points, and who else? And why Kairat Almaty? They are the ones down below the table right there in the UEFA Champions League. And of course, for more info, you can reach us via our channels on social media. We have Instagram, Overt News; Facebook, Overt News; X, Overt News NG; TikTok, Overt News TV; YouTube, Overt Radio; and of course the phone lines to call are 07087 233 165, 0707 0633 159. So those are the phone lines for you to call on the program right here. Of course, the games are still on; they are not ended yet, and of course, Borussia Dortmund has increased their lead over Athletic Club, and that one is now 4-1 in that center. And Arsenal, of course, has increased their lead as well. That game has produced another goal, and Arsenal has scored. And who scored for Arsenal, ladies and gentlemen? It is none other than Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka has put Arsenal 2-0 up. So there are 2 goals up in that game. And of course, Paris Saint-Germain has scored again, ladies and gentlemen. We have goal rushes coming in right now. Paris Saint-Germain has scored against Barcelona, and nicked that one for them in that game, ladies and gentlemen. It is Ramos, and Ashraf Hakimi was the one that provided for Ramos in that one that PSG won. Of course, it's full time already in that center. PSG has won away from home against Barcelona. Oh my word. Oh my word. Who expected that? Barcelona lost that game 1-0. And of course, we have Bayern Leverkusen. That game 1-1, while the game between Borussia Dortmund and Athletic Club ended 4-1 in favor of Borussia Dortmund. Let's go back to the game between Monaco and Manchester City. Manchester City, oh my God. Of course, Monaco have come from behind, and of course, they've leveled up game against Manchester City, and that game is about to end right there in that center. And of course, uh, the major games have ended. Napoli has won their game 2-1. Borussia Dortmund won their game 4-1. Bayern, Leverkusen, and PSV ended 1-1. And of course, Barcelona lost at home to the defending champion of the UEFA Champions League for last season, and that one ended 2-1 in favor of Barcelona. Arsenal nicked a 2-0 win. Of course, that game is still on, but still on the edge. 90 plus 6 minutes is what they have there. And of course, the game between AS Monaco and Manchester City is also 90 plus 6 minutes. I'm waiting to see what and how Paul Pogba will fare in that game, ladies and gentlemen, after being sidelined for almost 2 years and then coming back, and now he's in the Champions League. How did Paul Pogba fare? If you have that, you can also drop your comments down the comment section right here on Overt Radio. Go to Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, or YouTube. Drop your comment. Of course, we'll gladly read them out for our listeners. You can also drop a WhatsApp message, or you call us via the phone lines 07087233165. Of course, those are the lines for you to reach out on. Of course, all the games are done except for the game against Monaco and Manchester City. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, this is drama, right? Last minute drama coming in. We have goals coming in, goal rushes. Oh my God. 4 goals to 1 in favor of Borussia Dortmund against Athletic Club. And Arsenal, the game between Arsenal has ended at 2-0. They were 2-0 winners against Olympiacos of Greece. And AS Monaco and Manchester City is the one that is yet to end. Of course, I think there's so much drama in that game, and it's yet to end. It's the only game remaining to end in all of the centers in the Champions League round 2 this season. Of course, let's not forget I will be giving you the news at 10, and right after this we'll be giving you the news at 10. So stay tuned while the news at 10 comes up in that one. And don't also forget that we'll be bringing you interesting conversation after the news at 10. So stay tuned. But that's going to come up later on, and that's going to hit home stretch on the program today. And of course, we are still waiting on for that game between Manchester City and, of course, Monaco versus Manchester City to end. But we still have drama in that center, ladies and gentlemen. The game is refused or has refused to end. So the goal was a penalty goal from Eric Dyer, and that sealed it for the side in Monaco, France. 2-2, that game is still on, and of course, let's see. Of course, it's full time now in that center. Monaco 2, Manchester City. What a surprise coming in that game, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's go, and that's the much you can take on the sport update right here in the UEFA Champions League Day on Overt Radio. Don't forget, we have more and more coming up on the program. Let's go on this break. When we come back, we'll be giving you the news on the hour. Sharp 10, of course, will be the news on the hour. Don't go.